Dear friends, welcome back to Aksharadhare. I am Devraj. I hope you guys are enjoying learning and also following the tips which I have given in the previous videos. And also, you guys are reading the newspaper each and every day. So, to make you better in English communication. So, today is the 13th October 2023. So before going to start today's session, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share with your friends. It may be useful for somebody to utilize the opportunity from the Aksharadhare team. So let's start reading the newspaper and see what's in today's front page of the Hindu newspaper, which is very important for the competitive exams. Let's start reading the newspaper. Terrorists getting safe haven in Canada. Government India ranks low in hunger index. SSC to take a call on pleas on money bills. Should 50% legal ceiling on quota be reconsidered? Bihar government's cash survey response reopens debate. D. Cocabalos help ACCA rounds Australia. NDR reiterates call for a sovereign Palestine state. New Delhi's long-standing and consistent policy on Palestinian state remains unchanged, says MEA. Operation Ajay begins. Air India flight expected to bring 230 Indians from Israel today. Israel prepares for a possible ground assault. Drought may lead to 50% drop in food production. KERC proposes multi-year TOIP system across state. Inflation cooled to 5% in September. Many switch from personal vehicles to metro. Ativali fire tragedy, one more person dies. Kaveri Ro, Karnataka to appeal again against CWRC's direction. With fully operational Popal line, many prefer metro to personal vehicles. So I used to dread the congested roads while on my two-wheeler from Penniganahalli to Whitefield. But now I look forward to the metro. It's not just about reaching my destination; it's also about convenience and saving time, says a commuter. Drop in traffic congestion. Spotlight. The dog side up firework. Ensure victims for sexual offences are effectively notified before hearing bail flees of accused. SC. Trial courts should also direct their prosecution to ensure service of notice of the application for bail or anticipatory bail to the informant or victim and submit a requisite acknowledgement, says the High Court of Karnataka. World Egg Day, cracking the excellent code of health, the think egg. Shakti, this Dasara KSRTC policies 5 lakh daily commuters to ensure a free travel and cater to the demand. The Mysore, the Mysuru division of KSRTC has mobilized nearly 350 additional buses for operations from October 15th. Heritage exploration during Dasara. No entry for public to Chamundi Hills today. Reservation for rack because children in residential schools. Gang opens fire at jewelry shop owner loots valuables as Swavallambane launched to support women-owned businesses. Mental Day celebrations at Christ University. Man murders daughter for breaking engagement. Applications were noted for varsity post. A 50-year-old butcher allegedly slit the throat of his daughter while she was asleep at home in Bidaluru village on the outskirts of the Bengaluru Hantri dynasty. The deceased was identified as Kavana 20. She worked in an MNC and was relationship with a man from a different community. As a result, she broke up her engagement 6 months ago, said the police. Her father Manjunatha got the same man to marry his younger daughter Kirtana 19. However, Kirtana was not happy with the marriage and returned to the father's house. This led to a heated argument at home, following which Kirtana called on NGO for help. Members of the NGO Saki came to their home and counseled the family members. They took Kirtana with them. Manjunath blamed Kavana for the mess. At night, while she was asleep, he allegedly attacked her with a stick used to make roggy balls. Even as she was writhing in the pain, he allegedly used a knife to slit her throat. Later, he walked to the police station to confess the murder, according to the police. KERC proposes multi-year tariff system across state. It doesn't mean the same tariff rates are for 3 years. The objective is to provide tariff certainty. Kannadigas in Israel say they are living in fear with emergency sirens. HR seminar inaugurated at XIME. Drought during Kharif is expected to cause nearly 50% drop in food production, Agriculture Minister. Crops such as paddy, ragi, groundnut, cotton, and jowar have been lost and depending on the region. Officials have been directed to suggest alternative crops to farmers, he says. While July saw 29% excess rainfall than the normal, August reported a deficit of 73% that damaged the crops. Compensation of 48 crore is being given to 60,381 farmers who were unable to sow. Former BJP MLA joins Congress. Two more expected to follow. US companies evince interest to invest 25,000 crore in state. Stated to appeal again against CWRC direction. India's civil aviation industry is a source of national pride. KSIC donates 1 crore to Chief Minister's Relief Fund. Understanding the flora of the Western Ghats made easier with a pictorial manual. The recently launched Forest Trees of Central Western Ghats, a pictorial field manual helps to understand and conserve flora found in the Karnataka region of the Western Ghats. A worldly girl steps into the shoes of a British diplomat for a day. Out of 188 applications from talented young women around the country, Sanjana Remit was picked as the winner for DHC for a day. Kaveri projects may be included in fifth plan, biggest achievement. Karnataka in focus, roots in animal worship tradition, oldest troop in Bambangaluru, from animal kin to fiber, varying prices of tiger masks, lack of adequate patronage. When tigers dance for Dasara. Coastal Karnataka has a rich tradition of Uli Vesha or tiger dance. This traditional form is only gaining in popularity with the advent of social media. BJP has nothing to do with the action against Naidu Shah. Home Minister meets TDP President Sans Lokesh to clear the air. Shah inquires about Naidu's health, meeting aimed at sending a strong political message for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. TDT advances the time of procession of Garuda Seva. Kerala unit of LJD merges with Rashtriya Janata Dal. Telangana YSRTP to contest all seats. Naidu to appear in court on October 16th. Man trampled to death by a wild elephant in Kannur. Hamas and its supporters are behind belief. Let's go read this editorial page written by the Indian writer. The opinion is in the West on the current Israel Hamas war is not as one sided as its coverage by CNN might make you feel. CNN coverage is influenced by the American liberal stance, which, like liberal stances everywhere, thrives on feel good morality and umbrage with a very little introspection. This is less the case in Europe and particularly in countries such as France. There is a lot of sympathy for the Palestinian cause and even some attempts to defend the rash incursion of Hamas forces into Israel on October 7, which was the immediate cause of the war. Effect on the Palestinian cause. It is understood by many European observers that the Hamas attack, though most still consider it wrong and indefensible, was the consequence of the relentless spread of Israeli settlements, largely encouraged by the Netanyahu governments and condoned by allies such as the United States. Hamas too has very clearly stated that its aim is to drive back such new or recent settlements. This relentless and aggressive pressure by Israeli settlers, abated by Israeli governments and condoned by global powers, is seen as resulting in the desperate attack by Hamas. However, to my mind, the point is not who was more right and who was more wrong. The point is whether this war, which was finally caused by the Hamas attack on October 7, but also set up by Israeli settler aggression over the past few years, is going to solve anything or even help the Palestinian cause. The answer is no. If anything, it will harm the Palestinian cause. Those who differ with me will note that historically Palestinians have had to indulge in drastic and violent acts to draw attention to their plight and the oppressive policies of Israel. They will point out that the Palestinian Liberation Organization under Yasser Arafat leadership used such terrorist acts to focus world attention on the Palestinian problem. And without such actions, the Oslo Accords would never have happened. The West would have looked the other way while the Palestinians were slowly airbrushed out of history, the past and the present. But there is a difference between then and now. The PLO and Hamas, the perception of this difference is lost on most Muslims and perhaps a bit too obvious to most people in the West. The difference is religion. PLO under Yasser Arafat was fighting a secular battle for a nation state against a state that, whatever its dependents might claim, it is defined by religion. The fact that the secular and nationalist Palestinian struggle was largely ignored by the supposedly secular West was not lost on Muslims, and have always argued it contributed to the rise of political Islam from the 1970s onwards. Today, we live in a world where political Islam is associated almost entirely with Islam, and almost all Muslims. Many Muslims have turned to extreme versions of religiosity and fundamentalism, and they increasingly define their existing or imagined states in religious Islamic terms. Muslims who do not agree with these versions of political Islam are sidelined, both in non-Muslim discourse where they seldom appear except as anti-Islamic, which most of them are prepared not to be, and in Muslim discourse where again they and their ideas are briskly and unfairly dismissed as not Muslim. What is happening to protesters in Iran is an ongoing example. This was obvious right at the start of the Hamas incursions into Israel. It was followed by selfies of young men in Gaza shouting Allahu Akbar into their cameras and the Hamas leadership claiming to counter attacks on our religion. This was followed by interviews on CNN and elsewhere where Israeli women and men dressed like Europeans and Americans irrationally discussed their loss and Israeli unity, interspersed with shorter excerpts of Palestinian shouting emotionally and moving around in mobs. In perspective, the attack by Hamas will be defeated, crushed is more likely, not by Israeli forces backed by the US, but by the forces of this division to which organizations such as Hamas have contributed. If reasonable Europeans have to choose between Jewish fanatics in the settlements and Islamic fanatics in Gaza, they either will stay near neutral or may even choose the Jewish fanatics who dress and talk and act like them. Unfortunately, religious Muslims do not see this. They are so used to seeing things only through the prism of religion that their entire world is tinctured just one color. Instead of joining out the other people in secular political struggles, they insert their version of Muslim into all politics and sever themselves not just from non-Muslims but also from Muslims to Muslims who think differently. This finally is the reason why the Hamas attack is a blunder, regardless of whether Israel was more to blame for it or Hamas, regardless of who is more brutal or less justified. Hamas, thinking through the kind of prism that the Arafat's PLO could mostly avoid, as essentially misread the situation. It is, as one writer put it, as the lit title of a book, something behind belief. That writer was wrong about some things to do with the non-West, but he was not wrong about this trend in Muslim societies. This is about the fact but not real. So let's go to the next editorial page. A key step by Bihar to promote a better social justice. There are certain dates which acquire greater significance by a stroke of history. Another October 2023 is one such date, a day when the Bihar government released the data for a caste-based survey known as Bihar Jatiya Adharit Ganana. Let us remember not to forget, a caste-based census would provide accurate and up-to-date data on the distribution and socio-economic status of the various castes and communities in India. This data is essential for evidence-based policy formulation and implementation. It can help policymakers identify marginalized and disadvantaged groups and design targeted interventions to uplift them. India has a long history of caste-based discrimination and oppression. A caste-based census can help in recognizing and quantifying the extent of historical injustices and disparities that exist in society. Acknowledging these disparities is a critical step towards addressing them. Accuracy for efficacy. And with accurate caste-based data, the government can develop more effective and targeted welfare programs. These programs can be tailored to the specific needs of different caste groups, ensuring that the benefits of government schemes reach the most vulnerable sections of society. A regular caste-based census data can help track the progress of different caste groups over time. This allows for the evaluation of the effectiveness of policies and the programs aimed at social justice and affirmative action. It will also enable the government to make necessary adjustment to policies when needed. Caste-based data can help ensure fair representation of marginalized communities in government, education, and employment. Reservations and affirmative action policies are often based on caste, and accurate data is crucial to determine the appropriate level of representation required. A caste-based census promotes transparency and accountability in government efforts to promote social justice. It allows citizens to hold the government accountable for the equitable distribution of resources and opportunities. Without accurate data, there is a risk of caste certificates being misused for personal gain or political purposes. A caste-based census can help verify and authenticate the caste status of individuals, reducing the likelihood of fraud and ensuring that benefits are directed to those who genuinely need them. A subject of debate. However, it is important to note that the idea of conducting a caste-based census in India has been a subject of debate and controversy. Some argue that it could perpetuate and deepen caste divisions, while others believe that it is necessary to address historical injustices and promote social justice. The decision to conduct such a census involves careful consideration of these arguments and a balanced approach to address the complex issue of caste-based disparities in India. Caste discrimination in India is a deeply entrenched social issue that has persisted for centuries. Several factors highlight the need for committed government intervention to address this problem. First, historical injustice. Caste discrimination has its roots in centuries of historical oppression and marginalization. It has resulted in the social, economic, and educational backwardness of certain caste groups. Government intervention is necessary to rectify these historical injustices. Second, constitutional mandate. The Indian Constitution recognizes the existence of caste-based discrimination and inequality and provides for affirmative action measures such as reservation in education, employment, and politics to uplift historical disadvantaged groups. The government has a constitutional obligation to implement and enforce these provisions. Third, human rights discrimination based on caste is a violation of human rights. The government has a responsibility to protect the human rights of all its citizens, which include which includes the right to equality, dignity, and non-discrimination. Committed government intervention is necessary to ensure that these rights are fulfilled. Fourth, social cohesion, caste discrimination perpetuates social divisions and endures social cohesion. It creates a sense of inequality and injustice among marginalized groups and can lead to social unrest. Government intervention is essential to promote social harmony and unity. Fifth, economic development. Caste discrimination often leads to economic disparities, with certain caste groups facing limited access to education and employment opportunities. Government intervention through affirmative action policies can help bridge these gaps and promote economic development for all. Sixth, education discrimination can hinder access to quality education for marginalized caste groups. Government intervention is necessary to ensure that educational opportunities are accessible to all, irrespective of caste, and that discrimination within educational institutions is eliminated. Subject of employment. Seventh, employment. Discrimination in employment can limit job opportunities for certain caste groups. Government intervention is required to enforce anti-discrimination laws and promote fair employment practices, including affirmative action in the public sector. 8. Political representation. Dalits and other marginalized caste groups have historically been underrepresented in political positions. Government intervention is needed to promote their political participation and representation, which is crucial for addressing their concerns. Ninth, awareness and sensitization. The government can play a significant role in creating awareness about the harms of caste discrimination and promoting social sensitivity and inclusivity through educational programs and campaigns. 10th, legal framework. Government intervention is crucial to strengthening and enforcing anti discrimination laws and policies aimed at eradicating caste discrimination. Without a committed government effort, these laws may remain ineffective. In conclusion, caste discrimination is a deeply ingrained problem in India that requires sustained and committed government intervention to address. Such intervention is not only essential to rectify historical injustices but also to uphold the principles of inequality, justice, and human rights for all citizens, regardless of their caste or social background. Vendetta Unlimited, reviving 13-year-old case against Arundhati Roy smacks of intolerance. Jaipur Gamble. Let's go to the next page. Should the 50% legal ceiling on reservation be reconsidered just by setting a barrier and saying that everybody who is below is a SBBC? SEBC may have led us to this position, which as ways at hand castes have actually taken the big chunk of the benefits of reservation. Therefore, the sub-categorization is necessary. A message from Ladakh. Why Kargil voted against the separation from Kashmir in local council polls. Seven judge bench to take a call on giving priority to money bill case. Center requests top court to hear cases seniority wise and not to decide priority based on political exigencies. The cardinal issues whether amendments could be passed as money bill circumventing the Rajya Sabha in violation of Article 110. Hopefully, the final verdict will be forthcoming soon as it will have far-reaching implications on the very functioning of Parliament. India calls for sovereign Palestine state as a result judgments in Bilkis Bano case. PUCL condemns move to prosecute Arundhati Roy. Air India block rights to Meta. Google to remain neutral ahead of election. Inflation cooled to 5% in September. Proposal for acquisition of aircraft carrier CMK-1 Air jets lined up for approval by DAC. Need a collective effort to bring about lifestyle changes to protect the environment. Bill. Former Manipur BJP MLA granted bail as no charges were filed. Core issue in case Canada being safe haven status, says India. New Delhi committed to ensuring parity in diplomatic presence, says MEA spokesperson. It urges Ottawa to take more seriously its obligation to ensure security of Indian diplomats' missions. Canadian speaker opts out of a summit in India. Tamil Hacho Shiva Sankari conferred Saraswati Samman. India should learn lessons from attack on Israel, says NSC chief. Bangalore University. Here's the admission notification for the MSc. If anybody interested to join, you guys can join and apply and attend the you can attend the counseling. So let's go to the Priyanka promises free education in MP. India ranks 111 out of 125 countries in Global Hunger Index. SSC urges women to rethink plea to hand a 26-week pregnancy. I stressed need to balance rights of both mother and the unborn child. The three-judge bench adjourned the case for further hearing today. Women's autonomy is important, but equally we must be conscious of the fact that whatever is done will affect the right of the unborn child. Government revokes note to test new vaccines on stray dogs. UGC to issue instructions on publishing free information. Batla House encounter no death penalty for Arich Khan. After objections, proposed mosque in Ayodhya gets new name and design. Cracks on tracks could be cause of a train derailment in Bihar. Primary proof. Lessons from a devotee's life. Putin in Kyrgyzstan for first trip abroad since ICC arrest warrant. EU foreign policy chief arrives in China for pre-summit talks. Ukraine says standing Russian attacks on eastern town Avdiivka. Japan moves to strip unification church of government recognition. As strikes devastate Gaza, Israel prepares for a ground invasion. Palestinians in Gaza spent the night in pitch darkness, surrounded by the ruins of pulverized neighborhoods. Israeli PM Netanyahu says he will crush Hamas. State Secretary Antony Blinken in Tel Aviv. This says the US will always stand with Israel. Netanyahu let us down on Soleimani killing, says Trump. Admission to PhD program. What are Israel's military options after Hamas cross-border attack? IIP rises at 14-month high of 10.3%. Adani Group Mundra Fort celebrates silver jubilee. Nokia Chennai plant makes 7 million telecom units. Infosys QNet net rises Q2 net rises 3.2%. Sperm lowers in revenue growth guidance. H1 auto sales has surged 9% and good show by 3 wheelers. Ford. Tea industry in acute financial crisis, says Indian Tea Association in a report. HCL Technize net rises 9.8% to 3,832 crore. NCLAT note for Aniruddha gross resolution plan to acquire Viceroy's hotels. No let up in Warner's troubles against Giddy in ODIs. Looked like it was going down like Labus Chagne and Smith's decision. Stoinis didn't appear convincing. He looked like he had touched it. PCB post video of Pakistan's bomb welcome in Ahmedabad. The Stone and potent attack has sink Aussies. South Africa well served by Markram 50 and Rabada's triple strike 2. Cummins men stays up competitive 3-12 comes unstuck and they suffer a second straight loss. Australia suffers biggest WC loss in terms of runs. With 2 in 2, India seems to be getting its act right, although it is still early days. Have taken a leaf out of Gale's book, Rohit. Gill undergoes an hour-long nets session in Ahmedabad. New Zealand looks to keep winning momentum going. Big boost as skipper Williamson, arguably one of the best players of spin, returns to the side. Bangladesh would want to bounce back after its loss to England. The Asian team will relish the home conditions at Chepauk. Williamson, Shantor, Recon spin will play a big part. Go out there and enjoy your games. Sackline message to India and Pakistan. Ahmedabad budging as it gears up for India-Pakistan contest. PCB chairman Jaka Ashraf eager to explore ways to enhance cricketing ties with India. Aston Eaton lets in an out to breach the 9,000 point mark in decathlon. I think I was able to do it because I didn't mind going to training. I wanted to go get better. Says the two-time Olympic world indoor and outdoor champion. 309 member contingent for Asian Para Games. Manikantha and Giridharani emerged the fastest. Sindhu enters quarterfinals. Srikanth George exists. Mysuru division athletes are limelight on day one. All attractive primer to repeat in future event. Serious triumphs. Serious triumphs. Karnataka gets the better of Mumbai. India-Iran final nest ordered Than Kogli posting coach Bhaskaran. India's success in Kabaddi at the Continental event has its pros and cons. Its birth starts overnight, but it also maintains the status quo for systems that are not working. Many of the boys will move to preparations for the upcoming edition of the Pro Kabaddi League, while the women look set to slip back into oblivion set again. I've been posted at Kogel for 6 months, even that I didn't get to me as much as this final date. Ritual to reality, the evolution of hand hygiene post COVID 19. IGNA initiated in 2008 with the goal of mobilizing people worldwide to wash their hands. Global Hand Washing Day is observed annually on October 15th. This year's theme is Clean Hands Are Within Reach. Why I'm still masked up? On World's Arthritis Day, I learn about the common conditions. Prevalence of certain kinds of arthritis do decrease with age. Let's go to the text and context page. This is the last page. India's rank on Global Hunger Index 203 out of 125. 2023 out of 125 countries. 111. Tourists evacuated from North Sikkim by the Indian Air Force. A growth in industrial production in India in August. Penalty imposed by RBI and Paytm Payments Bank. Majority killed in Afghanistan. A quake were women. Even the case for caste census in India. Is there a relation between caste, religion, poverty, and discrimination? What do the social economic indicators show? Does this pattern extend to education and employment? Is the informal sector disproportionately populated by scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, and other backward classes? Education and employment indicators by social group. The amazing art of using old Hindi film songs to steer contemporary stories. More and more independent actors and screenwriters are using old songs as a native device to enhance storytelling by synchronizing the poetry with the characters' memories, and emotions. This is the last page, guys. If you would like to read this page, which is related to something advertisement for movie and the entertainment, you guys can go ahead. Otherwise, you guys can read the sports page, which is very important for the competitive exams. So please continue for 2 hours daily. It will make you better in communication, and also really you will very good in communication in the next 30 days if you are following the tips. Let's go to the next. See you in the upcoming videos, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.